pain after 50? The silent epidemic? What if the pain you're experiencing isn't just about getting older, but about how you're living your life? What if the real source of your chronic discomfort isn't something happening to you, but something you've been ignoring within yourself for decades? After 50, pain becomes common, but it doesn't have to become your normal. And it certainly doesn't have to control your future. Here's a startling truth that most people never consider. Your body is not randomly breaking down. It's responding to patterns you've been creating with your thoughts, emotions, and daily choices for years. The aches, pains, and health challenges that seem to appear suddenly after 50 have actually been building slowly, invisibly, in the space between who you really are and how you've been living. Is your pain really about aging? Turning 50 often feels like crossing into a different world. Society expects you to accept more limitations, take more medications, and slowly resign yourself to less energy and fewer possibilities. The message is clear everywhere you turn. Your best days are behind you. Your body is wearing out. Your energy is naturally declining. Your time for dreams and adventures is over. But what if this entire narrative is fundamentally wrong? What if the aches, pains, and health challenges that emerge after 50 aren't proof that your body is failing, but signals that something deeper needs your attention? What if you weren't designed to slowly deteriorate, but to evolve into a more conscious, vibrant version of yourself? This isn't about denying the reality of aging or pretending that bodies don't change over time. It's about understanding what is really behind so much unnecessary suffering after 50. It's about recognizing that while some changes are natural, many of the health problems people accept as normal aging are actually the result of living disconnected from their authentic selves for too long. The human body is incredibly resilient and designed for healing. When given the right conditions, it can regenerate, repair, and restore itself well into advanced age. The question isn't whether your body can heal after 50. The question is, are you creating the conditions that allow healing to happen? Those conditions aren't just physical, they're mental, emotional, and spiritual. They involve not just what you eat or how much you exercise, but how you think, what you believe about yourself, how you spend your days, and whether you're living in alignment with your deepest values and desires. The answers will challenge everything you've been told about health, healing, and what's possible in the second half of life. The hidden truth behind your pain the moment you reach 50. Something shifts in how the world sees you and how you see yourself. Suddenly, every ache is attributed to age. Every moment of fatigue becomes normal for your age. Stiffness, chronic inflammation, sleep problems, digestive issues, and emotional heaviness are all filed under the same category: inevitable decline. The medical system, while excellent at treating acute conditions, often falls short when addressing the complex. Chronic conditions that become common after 50, you're given medications to manage symptoms, but rarely are the deeper causes explored. You're told to learn to live with it, or this is just part of getting older. So you do what you're supposed to do. You visit doctors, fill prescriptions, maybe try physical therapy or dietary changes. You might explore alternative treatments, supplements, or exercise programs. Some approaches provide temporary relief, and you feel hopeful. But for many people, the underlying problems persist or even worsen over time. Here's what rarely gets addressed in conventional healthcare. Why do these problems start now? Why do some people thrive after 50 while others struggle? Why do conventional treatments often fall short of providing lasting solutions? Why do some people respond dramatically to treatments while others see little improvement? The uncomfortable truth is that most chronic health challenges after 50 don't begin with physical breakdown. They begin with mental and emotional patterns that have been building for decades. Consider the typical life trajectory that leads to health problems after 50. You spend decades prioritizing everyone else's needs over your own. You work in jobs that may provide security but drain your energy and enthusiasm. You suppress your creative impulses because they seem impractical. You ignore your body's signals for rest, play, and joy because there's always something more important to do. You live each day slightly disconnected from your authentic self, making choices based on what you should do rather than what truly energizes and fulfills you. The disconnection seems small at first, manageable, even responsible, but your body is keeping score. Every thought you think creates a chemical reaction in your body. Every emotion you experience triggers hormonal responses. Every day you live disconnected from your authentic self creates stress signals that your body must process. Over years and decades, these internal patterns become external symptoms. Your body is not separate from your mind. Your health is not separate from how you think, feel, and live each day. And after 50, the accumulated weight of misalignment between your inner truth and outer life often becomes impossible to ignore. This is why purely symptom-focused treatments often provide only temporary relief. They address the smoke but not the fire. They manage the effects but not the causes. They treat the body as if it exists in isolation from the mind and emotions and life circumstances that are actually driving the symptoms. How your mind shapes your body. Modern science has revealed something profound that ancient wisdom traditions have taught for millennia. Your thoughts and emotions literally reshape your biology. This isn't metaphysical theory or wishful thinking. It's measurable, documented science that's revolutionizing our understanding of health and healing. When you're chronically stressed, worried, or living without purpose, your body responds with a cascade of biochemical changes. Stress hormones like cortisol flood your system, creating inflammation throughout your body. Your immune system becomes suppressed. Your sleep patterns become disrupted. Your digestion slows down. Your muscles tense up and stay tense. Your nervous system becomes hypervigilant, creating a state of constant low-level alarm. Conversely, when you're joyful, engaged, and aligned with your values, your body responds with an entirely different set of chemical signals. Feel-good hormones like serotonin and dopamine increase. Inflammation decreases. Your immune system strengthens. Your sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. Your digestion improves. Your muscles relax. Your nervous system calms into a state that promotes healing and regeneration. This isn't just about managing stress better, though that's important. It's about understanding that your entire life experience is constantly communicating with your biology. Your body is like a sophisticated recording device. It's translating your thoughts, emotions, and experiences into physical responses. The pain map. What your symptoms are trying to tell you, consider. The most common health complaints after 50 and their deeper connections, chronic muscle tension and joint pain, often reflect years of emotional rigidity, unprocessed stress, and resistance to change. When your mind is tight with worry, resentment, or fear, your body mirrors that tightness in your muscles and joints. The person who holds anger in their jaw develops TMJ. The person who carries the weight of everyone else's problems develops chronic back pain. The person who feels trapped in their circumstances develops neck and shoulder tension. Persistent fatigue frequently emerges when you're living a life that drains rather than energizes you. If you wake up each day to activities that feel meaningless or obligations that feel burdensome, your body will eventually reflect that energetic depletion. Fatigue isn't always about needing more sleep. Sometimes it's about needing more purpose, more joy, more connection to what makes you feel alive. Digestive problems commonly appear when you're having difficulty digesting changes in your life or when you're consumed by anxiety about things beyond your control. Your gut contains more nerve cells than your spinal cord and produces many of the same neurotransmitters as your brain. It's literally responding to your emotional state every moment of every day. Sleep disturbances often reflect a mind that cannot settle because you're not at peace with how you're spending your waking hours. Insomnia frequently accompanies a life that feels unresolved, unfulfilled, or inauthentic. Your body knows when you're not living in alignment with your values, and it will resist the rest that comes from being at peace. Recurring infections or slow healing can indicate an immune system weakened by chronic stress from living in ways that do unhonor your authentic needs and desires. Your immune system is intimately connected to your emotional state. Depression, anxiety, and chronic dissatisfaction all suppress immune function. High blood pressure and heart problems often develop in people who are constantly pushing against their natural rhythms and authentic desires. The heart that must work harder to pump blood through a body that's chronically tense from stress. The cardiovascular system that's overloaded from years of forcing yourself through days that do align with your true nature. The revolutionary insight is this: when you change your internal patterns, your external symptoms often change too. Not because you're ignoring real medical conditions or replacing necessary medical care, but because you're addressing their deepest sources. The real medicine, after 50, living authentically. Your body is constantly listening to your thoughts, and responding to your emotions. It's designed to thrive when you're reliving in alignment with your true nature and to struggle when you re-not. This is why two people with identical medical diagnoses can have completely different outcomes. The person who addresses only physical symptoms often remains stuck in cycles of temporary relief and recurring problems. They manage their condition but never truly heal. They survive but don't thrive. The person who also addresses the mental and emotional roots of their condition often experiences profound and lasting transformation. They don't just manage their symptoms. They eliminate the patterns that created the symptoms in the first place. This happens through what researchers call neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself throughout your entire lifetime. When you consistently think new thoughts, feel new emotions, and engage in new behaviors, you literally create new neural pathways. These new pathways then signal your body to create new biological responses. The key principle is this: your body will heal when your life heals. Your symptoms will improve when your daily patterns improve. Your energy will return when you return to activities that truly energize you. This doesn't mean medical care isn't important. Medications, surgeries, and other medical interventions can be life-saving and necessary. But for lasting healing after 50, especially with chronic conditions, you must address both the physical symptoms and the life patterns that created them. The most powerful healing happens when you combine the best of conventional medicine with conscious attention to how you reliving your life. When you take your medication and also examine whether you're living in alignment with your values, when you follow your treatment plan and also pay attention to what brings you joy and energy, this is why some people seem to heal miraculously from serious conditions, while others struggle despite. Having access to the best medical care, the difference often lies not in the treatments they receive, but in their willingness to examine and change the deeper patterns that contributed to their illness in the first place. Your body's wisdom. Healing begins with alignment. The moment everything changes is when you stop seeing your body as broken and start seeing it as incredibly wise. This shift in perspective transforms you from a victim of your symptoms into a detective investigating their deeper messages. Consider a woman who had struggled with chronic back pain for over a decade. She had tried every conventional treatment available: medications, physical therapy, chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, and even surgery. Each approach provided temporary relief, sometimes for weeks or months, but the pain always returned, often worse than before. The cycle was exhausting and demoralizing. She began to believe that she was simply destined to live with pain, that her body was fundamentally flawed, that this was just her reality after 50. Then she encountered a different approach. Instead of immediately focusing on eliminating her pain, she was encouraged to listen to it. She began a simple daily practice that changed everything. Each morning, instead of immediately assessing her pain level and planning her day around it, she would sit quietly for 10 minutes and ask herself, "What is my body trying to communicate to me today?" At first, the answers seemed completely unrelated to her back pain. She became aware of how much resentment she carried about her job in corporate accounting, work that paid well but left her feeling empty and stressed. She noticed how rarely she laughed anymore, how long it had been since she felt genuinely excited about anything. She recognized that she hadn't pursued any of her creative interests in years, despite having been an passionate artist in her youth. As she continued this practice, deeper insights emerged. She realized that her back pain flared most intensely during periods when she felt trapped or powerless in her life. The pain was worst on Sunday evenings before returning to work and during family gatherings, where she felt obligated to maintain a cheerful facade while suppressing her true feelings. Her body was literally carrying the weight of all the things she wasn't saying, all the dreams she wasn't pursuing, all the authentic parts of herself she was keeping hidden. Gradually, she began making small changes. She started saying no to social obligations that drained her energy without guilt or lengthy explanations. She enrolled in a pottery class she had always wanted to try, despite her inner critic's protests that it was frivolous. She began spending 20 minutes each morning in her garden, instead of rushing through her routine while checking emails. Most significantly, she started having honest conversations with her family about her needs and desires. instead of always prioritizing their comfort over her authenticity. Something remarkable happened. Not only did her back pain significantly improve, but her sleep became deeper, her mood lifted. Her relationships became more genuine, and she felt more energetic than she had in years. Her body wasn't just healing, her entire life was healing. The transformation wasn't immediate or linear. There were setbacks and challenges, but the overall trajectory was clear. As she moved toward greater alignment with her authentic self, her body moved toward greater health and vitality. This wasn't a miraculous cure or a placebo effect. When she started living in greater alignment with her true nature, her stress levels decreased, her nervous system calmed, her hormones balanced, and her immune system strengthened. Her body could finally do what it was designed to do: heal itself. The breakthrough moment was recognizing that her pain wasn't her enemy. It was her ally, trying to get her attention about patterns in her life that weren't serving her well-being. Her body was speaking to her in the only language it knew: physical sensation. This is the shift that changes everything. From fighting your symptoms to listening to them. From managing your problems to understanding their messages. From surviving your days to designing them around what brings you alive. Another example involves a man who had been dealing with chronic digestive issues and frequent colds for several years after turning 55. Despite multiple medical consultations and dietary changes, his symptoms persisted. Like many people, he had begun to accept these problems as inevitable signs of aging. Through the same practice of inner listening, he discovered that his digestive problems always worsened during periods when he felt forced to swallow situations that were unacceptable to him, a demanding boss, family conflicts. He couldn't resolve financial pressures that kept him in work he disliked. His frequent colds corresponded with times when he felt emotionally worn down by giving more than he received in his relationships and commitments. As he began setting healthier boundaries, communicating his needs more clearly, and gradually shifting toward work that energized rather than depleted him, both his digestive issues and his susceptibility to illness dramatically improved. These aren't isolated cases or unusual occurrences. When people begin paying attention to the deeper patterns behind their symptoms, remarkable healing often follows. The body has been waiting for this attention, this listening, this alignment between inner truth and outer expression. The ultimate prescription for life after 50: embrace authentic living. Pain and health challenges after 50 are not inevitable punishments for aging. They are often invitations to live more authentically than you ever have before. Your body is not randomly breaking down. It's responding to decades of accumulated patterns in how you think, feel, and live. And just as these patterns created problems, new patterns can create solutions. The most powerful medicine after 50 isn't found in a pharmacy, though medications certainly have their place. The most powerful medicine is found in the courage to finally live according to your deepest values and desires. Regardless of what others might think or expect, this means doing work that energizes rather than depletes you, even if it requires major changes or financial adjustments. It means surrounding yourself with people who support your growth and authenticity, rather than those who drain your energy, or require you to hide parts of yourself. It means saying yes to activities that bring you genuine joy and no to obligations that bring you stress, even when saying no feels uncomfortable or selfish. It means treating your body as a wise teacher rather than a failing machine. Instead of asking, "How can I make this pain go away?" you learn to ask, "What is this pain trying to teach me?" Instead of viewing symptoms as enemies to be defeated, you begin to see them as messengers bringing important information about how you're living your life. Most importantly, it means understanding that you have far more control over your health and well-being than you've been taught to believe. Your thoughts influence your biology every moment of every day. Your emotions affect your immune system, your hormone levels, and your body's ability to heal itself. Your daily choices shape your energy levels, your sleep quality, and your overall vitality. This isn't about blaming yourself for being sick or suggesting that all illness is simply a matter of positive thinking. Serious medical conditions require serious medical attention. But it is about recognizing that your mental and emotional state plays a crucial role in both the development of illness and the process of healing. You were not designed to slowly deteriorate after 50. You were designed to continue growing, learning and contributing in ways that become more authentic and meaningful with each passing year. The second half of your life can be a time of unprecedented health, vitality, and fulfillment if you're willing to address not just what's happening in your body, but what's happening in your life. Many people discover that their health challenges after 50 become the catalyst for the most profound positive changes they've ever made. The pain that seemed like a curse becomes the wake-up call that leads them to their most authentic, joyful, and meaningful life. Your body has been waiting patiently for you to listen to its wisdom. Your health has been waiting for you to make changes that honor who you really are, rather than who you think you should be. Your energy has been waiting for you to pursue what truly matters to you, rather than what you've been told should matter. The time is now. Not when it's convenient, not when all conditions are perfect, not when you have permission from others, but now. Because every day you wait to live authentically, your body waits with you. And every day you choose to align your life with your deepest truth, your body heals with you. This is the secret that changes everything. When you heal your life heals you. When you honor your authentic self, your body responds with vitality and health. When you choose joy over obligation, purpose over security, and truth over approval, your entire biological system shifts into a state that promotes healing, energy, and well-being. The pain you've been experiencing may be the greatest gift your body has ever given you. A clear signal that it's time to stop living someone else's life and start living your own. If this message speaks to you, we want to hear from you. Share your story in the comments below. What pain or health challenge have you been living with? And what do you think your body might be trying to tell you about your life? Have you noticed connections between your stress levels and your symptoms? Between your life satisfaction and your energy levels? Between doing what you love and feeling better in your body? Have there been times when you felt most alive and healthy? And what was different about how you were living during those periods? Your experience could be exactly what someone else needs to hear to begin their own healing journey. Every story of transformation gives others permission to believe that change is possible for them too. And if you're ready to take practical steps toward addressing both the physical and emotional roots of chronic pain, start by simply listening to your body each day. Small, honest changes, even just noticing what drains you and what restores you, can begin shifting your entire system toward healing. Remember, you're not broken and you're not stuck. You're at a crossroads where profound healing and transformation become possible. Your symptoms are not signs of failure. They're signs that your body is still fighting for your health and happiness. Your body is listening to every choice you make. Make sure those choices are telling the story you want your health to reflect. The second half of your life is waiting. And so is the vibrant, healthy, authentic version of yourself that's been waiting to emerge.